chance that by the time, if, like I said, you two come for your next fights and are going to fight next year, that there is a strong possibility that this may not be for the undisputed tag. One of the belts could end up getting dropped, you don't know. Or if you get elevated to a franchise champion, all this kind of stuff. But I suppose ultimately it doesn't matter as long as we get to see the fight.
Do you know what? I've always said, right, belts, as good as they are to have for world champions, they don't make the fighters. The fighters make belts. That's the fact, okay? I am very proud to be the WBC heavyweight champion. You know, it's the only belt that's evaded me over the years. I finally added it to my collection. I want to defend it. I ain't going to give no belts up for nobody, especially not no bum like Dillian Whyte. I punch his face right in for him, yeah? I don't want to vacate any belts, but the belts they're not going to define me, these belts. To become all these belt holders again, yeah, ain't going to do anything for me because I have every belt. I have every single belt that's ever been made in boxing. I already have them. So yeah, like to get all the, like, to hold these belts again at one time, great. When I beat Klitschko, he was considered the undisputed champion because his brother was a WBC champion at the time. So it didn't really matter anyway. And you know, having all these belts at once is quite difficult because you've got to make all these organisations happy. And I'm only interested in making one organisation happy at a time. And the WBC are standing by me and doing right by me, so I'm going to do right by them. And I want to defend my WBC title, what I've worked hard for all over the years. And it's always slipped through my fingers. It won't be slipping through my fingers again because I will annihilate Dillian Whyte. I don't have to run from Dillian Whyte or anybody like him. Any of them, anybody in that top 15, nobody there scares me. They can beat the full division with one hand tied behind my back. So why would I want to be running away from these bums? I've already beat the most dangerous man in the history of boxing. Walloped him, absolutely mullered him. Yeah? So I've got not to be afraid of some second tier heavyweights. You know, definitely not. Listen, it is right. Dillian Whyte is going to get his shot at the title. That's a fact. Whenever it is, I don't know. But the one thing that's out of my control and out of Dylan's control, out of everybody else's control, was the coronavirus. Okay? If at the beginning of this year, yeah, I fought Wilder in February, and I had a year, the winner had the year to defend against Dillian Whyte, right? So all of a sudden, nobody knew what was going to happen with coronavirus, and it's just killed the year. Put the year on hold. So if the banks have put mortgages on an ISA, and if everything else has been frozen in time until we move forward, then surely his mandatory position has to be frozen too.
Those are the words of Tyson Fury extended. I did a similar video yesterday, but that was covering just the mandatory position. But this here confirms that Tyson Fury intends to fight Dillian Whyte, beat Dillian Whyte, then continue on the rest of his journey with Anthony Joshua and so forth. Okay. Now, Tyson Fury did bring up some good points. You know, he was supposed to fight Deontay Wilder by now, or this following month. Then he had a year to fight Dillian Whyte, which he did from February to February, because he had until February 2021 to fight Dillian Whyte, but he fought Wilder this February. Okay, so he had a year, but none of us expected the coronavirus to do what it did. So if everything's put on hold, obviously the WBC mandatory has to put on hold. Now I do understand that, because what people are saying is, they're saying that, hey, because of the coronavirus, you have to fight Dillian Whyte before Anthony Joshua. Well, they should be exceptions to the rule, you know. And then he says, and Tyson Fury says the WBC stood by him, so he's going to do right by the WBC. What does that mean? That means that Mauricio Sulaiman is going to be more lenient with him, and they have a better understanding of what's going on. Dillian Whyte will more than likely have to wait. He will have to wait. He would have to keep on doing what he's doing, because of the coronavirus froze everything. It froze boxing altogether. Okay, so we had one boxing card, you know, Shakur Stevenson did fight, but other than that, all these top fights have been frozen. Okay, all of them. All of the huge fights have been frozen, and they push them back. So if they have to push all those fights back and everyone else has to oblige due to safety, I think that the Dillian Whyte fight should be also. And I think Dillian Whyte, he won his case and he's done what he's supposed to do. Fair play to Dillian Whyte. I would have done the same thing. However, what Tyson Fury is saying and what everyone was worried about was him dropping this belt. And he said he doesn't want to drop it, and he's not dropping it for Dillian Whyte or nobody else. So we just have to see if that happens or not, because, you know, Tyson Fury will tell you something. Like he said as of yesterday, like, hey, I'm not dropping the belt. Nobody scares me. None of these guys in the top 15 does. But then he will go off and do something quite contrary to what he said he would not do. So, you know, since he's already said that and planted that seed in everyone's ears that, hey, I'll drop that belt before fighting Dillian Whyte. I'm not interested in fighting Dillian Whyte. Remember that? That was just, what, a week and a half ago. Okay? Now he's saying, I will annihilate that Dillian Whyte. I'm not scared of him, and he will get his shot, as you heard him say. Okay? So Dillian Whyte will get his shot according to Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury is the WBC heavyweight champ. Okay? And he just confirmed it. Let's see if he keeps reconfirming it. And that's my counterpunch on that, guys. You guys tell me what you think about this video about Tyson Fury's comments, his newly formed comments. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.